Quite recently, the Division 3 demo for Raising the Bar Redux came out. This demo primarily focuses on the depot and the prison part of the beta. Right off the bat, I got to appreciate all the weapons this mod has, especially this new OICW model and this rebar launcher, which is like an alternative for the crossbow. I'll talk more about the weapons as we go on. The start of the demo takes place right as Gordon enters the depot from the lighthouse in the wasteland. At least, that's what I'm assuming, cause that's how he did it in the original story drafts. The inspiration here is very clear if we take a look back at the original leaked maps, and RTBR's version provides a far more detailed rendition of this area. This place is filled with manhacks and turrets, and the layout is designed in a way that it's nice to figure out how to dodge the turrets and take them out up close. This open area is one of the major gunfights we encounter in the demo. Again, regarding the weapons, I have to give props to all the people that have worked on these weapon models and their animations and sounds. The models look super detailed, like the pistol and the shotgun, the rebar launcher. They all have these small details that make you appreciate the effort that went into this project. However, I do have to voice my opinion about the SMG model. Even though it's been in the mod for a while and has very nice animations, I'm starting to feel like it's a little snub-nosed and a little out of character if we compare it with the other weapon models. Sounds fantastic though. Now, the animations have this fluidity that doesn't delve too much on the overused Modern Warfare 2019 style that most animators aim for, but the animations do convey this sense of ruthlessness. How the weapon itself and its user, Gordon, is absolutely ruthless and badass in these combat encounters. Coming back to this section itself, seeing that it's a demo, I understand all of this is currently under development. Visually, I feel like the HDR in the skybox is a little too bright for my taste, and the overall environment lighting itself is a tad too bright for a place that's supposed to be in the wasteland. While I do think that Dark Interval has the more quote-unquote dark and gritty vibes to it, RTBR always had a unique take on the beta atmosphere, and this certainly does feel in line with that. But even still, I do think that the environment should be just a smidgen darker than it is right now. Gameplay-wise, I feel like this is a very difficult segment. Thing is, most of the map is like a round arena with enemies in different elevations and directions, so it made me feel a little flustered to figure out how many enemies there are and where they are shooting me from. For the players who are skilled in playing FPS games, that shouldn't be much of an issue. But for casual players like myself, I do have to say that you should be playing on easy difficulty or just try to cheese through this place. If I were to give a suggestion to further optimize the gameplay, I would suggest just one simple thing. Have the group of enemies come out in waves as the player wipes out the previous wave, so you'd be fighting 5 or 6 enemies, then continue to fight 5 or 6 more. Currently, it feels like all of these enemy groups attack you at the same time. The OICW is a new addition to the project. I think it looks faithful to the original model, but I did see quite a lot of people say that the scope is too big when I was streaming this mod. I don't know, I don't think it's that big, but I do think it's quite nice looking. The rebar launcher has a normal attack of firing a normal bolt and an alt attack of firing an electric bolt. That's pretty cool too. We find ourselves face to face with multiple hunters in this underground warehouse area, or rather, in the depot. I've said it many times, and it was nice to see it here, that the mappers used hunters this way. Hunters work perfectly in an encounter if you give the player enough room to run around, to dodge their attacks, and hell, even give the player some cover. The warehouse has these moving platforms that require you to press the button twice. such a minor thing, but I feel like this will confuse a lot of players. Like, players always expect to hit a button once, whereas these ones require you to press them twice. It confused me the first time I played this too. The visuals of this depot look very reminiscent of Portal 2 in a way, not directly, but in mood and atmosphere with a different coat of paint. What was once a congested area now has been reimagined into this gigantic looking place, and it's eerie and cool to go through. And before I forget to mention it, we have the Tau Cannon. It is fantastic and you can recharge it with the HEV wall charger. The depot area is quite simple to navigate, however I do feel the visual nature of this place might confuse some players because it's all boxes upon boxes, and those who are inattentive like me will have the chance of getting lost. Then we head up into the rafters for some more intense fights before finally getting into another elevator to head to another section. Now we're in another underground part of the depot, and I gotta give props again to the map quality. I like how they interpreted the combinification of this building and whatever purpose it served before. Both the human and combine elements are melted perfectly, very nicely together. Next we come across combine soldiers fighting antlions which are splurging out of holes in the ground. Here you have to get into a triple threat match with both factions. Take out the soldiers first and then blow up the holes while fending off the antlions. This is a nicely designed area where you have to play cleverly and is actually quite adrenaline rushing. What follows are close quarter battles with combine soldiers as Gordon delves further into this facility. Each of these encounters are pretty fun to play, and visually, they always keep you interested as the visuals always tend to stay fresh and new. Then we get to meet Alex.
Want some more? Huh? Gordon! I wasn't expecting you so soon. Sorry about that. Ayla is somewhere in this place. The Combine adapted it from an old naval base. But it's more alien than any part else these days. Should be able to get us through here. Let's go!
Okay, so I don't know how they did it, like if it was luck that they found this voice actress, but she sounds very similar to the original Alex voice actress, whose identity is still a mystery to this day.
Well, here we are. It's not home exactly. I never stay anywhere long enough to call it home, but it has all the comforts, like food and water, weapons, and ammo. Make yourself comfortable. You can charge up your batteries over there. I've got some stuff to take care of, and then we'll get moving.
Gordon! I'm hurt! Can't move! Go on without me. Find my father. There's an emergency bunker near the inner gates. He's in command there. Tell him that
What do you mean you speak for humanity? You can't speak for something you're not a part of anymore. Call yourself consul or whatever you want, but you're really just another cog in the Combine machinery.
While we know Merle Dandridge did the voice work in the retail game, her predecessor's identity is unknown. I most likely think her lines were placeholder during development. But back to the point, the voice actress here sounds strikingly familiar to that original beta voice actress. Basically what I'm trying to say is that the voice actress for this version of Alex did a fantastic job.
This place is huge. We've got our work cut out for us.
Her line delivery might not have the same dramatic flair that Merle had in retail Half-Life 2, but she definitely has the voice inflections that the original beta Alice voice actress had. So we have to save Eli Maxwell, who Alex says is being held in this prison. Keep in mind, in this timeline there's no Eli Vance, but rather we'll be seeing Captain Vance in a future division. Here, Eli Maxwell is a separate character. After a bit of scuffle with the Combine, we get to open this area, which I guess serves as a train station or some sort of administration area for the depot. I love the visual and vertical aspect of this part and how gigantic this whole place is. Again, they took those original concepts and expanded them tenfold while giving them a touch of originality. The gate we have to go through is locked, and Alex tells us to get 2 Vortigaunts that are being held in this area. They'll help us open this gate. Then it's a fairly straightforward section. The first section has us fighting some soldiers, and then I saw this green flame and I was like, that looks familiar. It was a mini boss fight with the cremator. So we saved the first ward here, and again, really good job on the voice acting and the dialogue itself.
Feel the vortessence once more. We are in the free man's debt. Lead on!
One thing I gotta say is that most mods get the dialogues wrong for the ward, like the way they are spoken and the way they are written. Here it is quite in line with how their dialogues were like in the retail game. This ward then helps us go save the second ward as well, and I love it when it just zaps the shit out of someone. We meet heavy resistance as we head to the next area, but again, thanks to the fantastic weapons, their animations and sounds, it all feels so good to do so. With the second ward saved, we head back to Alex. The two wards help us open the gate, and also with the ensuing firefights with the Combine soldiers inside. This part, I think, is supposed to be the prison part of the depot, the place that would later become Nova Prospect. Keeping both the beta and retail versions in mind, this one doesn't disappoint. It is what it's supposed to be, an abandoned facility turned into a giant prison by the Combine. RTBR's original design language on top makes it feel unique compared to the original sources it's getting inspiration from. There's also this neat little puzzle with the reinforced boxes and the light switch. Then we come across a bunch of antlions, and this whole place right here oddly feels very beta-ish. I don't know how to put it into words, but some nooks and crannies made me feel like I was playing an actual leaked beta map, and I don't think I can give the maps a higher accolade than that. And oh boy, this part right here got me a little anxious the first time I played it. We have a bunch of hunters and antlions in the middle, accompanied by a bunch of Combine soldiers on those two towers. Thank God I had the Tau cannon with me, which made this fight very easy, otherwise I would have had to find a way to cheese through this whole segment.
Through here somewhere. He's gotta be.
Alex.
Dr. Maxwell! Let me get you out of there. Are you okay?
Oh, nothing 40 winks and a nice cup of coffee won't fix. And some experimental healing treatments in a cutting-edge lab. But I'm not the only one that needs help.
Free us! We shall see you through to a safer ingress.
So we save Eli Maxwell and another ward who gives us this. Yeah, this version of the Pteropod looks quite disgusting, and I love its alien appearance. I also saw this stalker, and I gotta say I love its design as well, especially that pipe going through its mouth and how the face is bloodied up. It gives the stalkers a very horrifying appearance. So yeah, this is the part where we take the antlions and rip Combine shit up in the depot. This whole segment is really adrenaline inducing, especially with that music in the background. Then we come across a mini boss fight with like 5 or 6 cremators and a bunch of Combine soldiers. I used the rebar launcher and the shotgun to make quick work of these gangly looking things. Right after that, we have to order the antlions onto this platform to make it come down. I think one of the devs was in my stream when I was first playing this demo, and I learned from them that they're gonna be removing this bit from the final release since the antlion AI doesn't work as intended, and it's kinda irritating to get that platform down. As we move deeper into the facility, the resistance from the Combine becomes even stronger. We also get a nice change of scenery which has the classic Combine metallic look to it. We finally meet up with Alex and Eli again, and then...
Gordon! I'd say you stirred up the hive. But, well, you were the hive.
Get it to him, good Gordon. Like the old days, huh?
Sure did. Get that field down and we'll get ourselves a ride out of here.
I'm gonna be real, I feel like this ending was a bit abrupt. I don't know why I feel that way about it, but something about the sequence felt off. But overall, this is yet again another fantastic release from the RTBR project. Granted, it's a demo and work in progress, I still love what I saw. The main thing I would suggest the team to look at is gameplay balancing. In some parts of the mod, the Combine soldiers do feel overwhelming rather than challenging, and the lack of rebar ammunition made me feel a little disappointed that I couldn't use the rebar launcher that much. Something minor I would also like to suggest is that in some parts, there's moments where the overall map feels very dark, in a way that you're not really able to see where the enemy NPCs are or what the general layout of the area is. I understand the lighting is done in a way to make it feel atmospheric, and I like that, but I would much prefer lighting that's tailor-made to ensure fun gameplay instead. Speaking of lighting, the outdoor areas feel a little too cheerful or bright if you take into the account that we're in the wasteland. That effect of the Combine over the Earth's atmosphere doesn't feel as strong as I was hoping. All that aside, I do want to say that I'm pleasantly surprised at how enjoyable this whole chapter was, because I honestly think that the beta maps of the depot and the prison were not really that interesting, even in their unfinished state. This new original vision of bringing the depot to life is done in a way that perfectly suits the whole beta mythos and the RTBR project itself. I'll be definitely looking forward to the full release of Division 3 and see how they further improve this whole chapter. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this demo and this video. Thanks so much for watching, and a big thanks to these benefactors for supporting the channel. T.S. Tromer, Pujo, Scary Stalker, Unusual, Flamsy, It's Juro, Taylor, Mistress Baban, HPR, Wooflo, Scooms, Aoi, Nicholas Go, Imperial Embers, T-Boy301, Tombstone, Jack5282, Lucky U, Quiltman, 501st Clone Boy, Interloper CS, TTG, Robocop, Noel, Franco Senlehi, Justin Immergriff, Tedosaur, Odakan Nachos, Lamdre, Roadkill, Walter, Geote, Fisher Grice, Hawk Assault, Jelen, A Normal Street Lamp, Tiervar Droid, and Bipolit. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.